in state prison on 2 felony charges.
Kids are back to school, and the Rutland County Sheriff's Department is reminding drivers stop when a yellow bus has up its flashing red lights and its stop sign. Just last week, deputies stopped 3 cars on Route 4 in Mendon. The drivers flew past school buses while students were getting off. All 3 were issued civil violation complaints. Stopping for a stopped school bus with its lights on is a Vermont state law.
In tonight's Project Community, health officials are urging people to recognize the warning signs of suicide in hopes of ending the crisis.
September is Suicide Prevention Month, and today is World Suicide Prevention Day. At the New Hampshire State House, discussions to make sure everyone has the help they need. Mike
Cronin from our sister station WMUR was there.
State leaders are highlighting this important issue on World Suicide Prevention Day in hopes of telling others that help is available.
Robbie Millward is a father, veteran, and about 19 years ago, he says he tried to take his own life.
I started seeing a therapist and a psychiatrist. At first it seemed to help. It wasn't.
He suffers from depression, anxiety, and PTSD. Through an inpatient program, Millward turned his life around.
It showed me how to use my past experiences of strength to help get me through the rough days. It truly showed me hope is real.
On World Suicide Prevention Day, state leaders are highlighting a leading cause of death in New Hampshire.
Right now, we're seeing a very large spike in the suicide calls. Last month was 169 calls related to suicide.
We are going to be preventative. We're going to stand really shoulder to shoulder, throw politics out the window, and simply move the ball forward to get stuff done.
Among the state's efforts, the North Country is part of a pilot program that aims to prevent suicide among veterans in rural areas. And New Hampshire's Department of Education says about 5,000 people have been trained in how to help a child in crisis.
1/3 of those 5,000 we trained just in this last school year, and we really can't even keep up with the demand. So schools and communities are recognizing how important these trainings are.
Millward hopes to inspire others to find help. He says not asking for it almost cost him his life.
Owning it helps me live my best life. Owning it shows me and others there is no shame. We will win this with compassion. We will win this with understanding.
If you or someone you know needs help, the Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-TALK. In Concord, Mike Cronin, WMUR News 9.
Still to come at 10, a new place for peace, quiet, and exploring nature. We'll take you there.
I'm Sally Kidd in Washington, where President Trump sits down with Republican leaders to talk about possible gun legislation as Democrats keep up the pressure for action.
Plus, taking down an eyesore in a northern New York town. What's next for the freed up space?
You're watching NBC5 News at 10 with Stephanie Gorin, Brian Colleran, Chief Meteorologist Tom Messner, and Ken Drake with sports.
It's a live look from Washington, D.C. tonight and the White House, where yet another top official is out tonight. Today, President Trump announcing on Twitter that he fired National Security Advisor John Bolton.
Trump says he told Bolton last night that his services were no longer needed. He also says he and the now former National Security Advisor disagreed on many issues. Bolton also tweeting today saying he offered to resign last night, but the president wanted to give him until morning to talk about it again.
Bolton was the third National Security Advisor in less than 3 years under President Trump. The president says he plans on naming Bolton's successor next week. The gun debate heating up in Washington, D.C.
Top Republican lawmakers met with President Trump to discuss a possible way forward. NBC5's Sally Kidd has the latest on where things stand now.
It's not clear yet exactly what President Trump will support, and that's key for Senate action. Republican leaders sit down with President Trump to game out the weeks ahead.
We do, in fact, await word from the White House about what the president is willing to sign.
Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell not moving forward on gun legislation until he knows President Trump is on board.
We're engaged here with a level of seriousness that I see completely non-existent on the other side. It's all about trying to scare people, trying to create press conferences.
Shame on him. There are people who died. Shame on him. Put the bill on the floor and stop ducking the issue.
Democrats pushing the Senate to vote on a background checks bill that passed the House in February. But Leader McConnell says there will be no vote because the president has threatened a veto.
When is enough enough?
Democrats keeping up the pressure at a gun violence task force hearing.
We will fight on every front in the courts, in the Congress, and in the court of public opinion to make sure this issue is too hot to handle for the GOP to block.
How can we solve these problems? That's what we should be focused on. But when I look to the Democratic side, they're focused on one thing, a promise they made to their political individuals that they wanted to impeach this president.
Now, before today's White House meeting, Republican senators got a private briefing from the president's legislative affairs director. McConnell says he indicated that he is working on a proposal the president will sign. Reporting from Washington, I'm Sally Kidd.
Taking a closer look into the criminal justice system. Coming up, Vermont's top attorneys see what it's like on the inside.
We haven't seen a lot of rain around here recently, and I'm not expecting a lot. But it is raining tonight, and we've got some tomorrow. We'll tell you exactly how much to expect. First Alert weather is coming up.
You're watching NBC5 News.
An attention-getting step today from the elected state's attorney in Vermont's most populous county. She took her staff inside one of the state's prisons to learn more about the daily lives of the people whose cases they prosecute. NBC5's Jack Thurston went inside the secure facility for that tour.
Behind the razor wire fences of the Northwest State Correctional Facility, a state's attorney known for fresh approaches to the job has brought her whole staff, prosecutors, clerks, advocates, and more, to see, in many cases for the first time, what it's like behind bars.
Yeah, I absolutely think there's a disconnect, and myself included.
Sarah George of Chittenden County and her team visiting cells, the booking area, the medical services center, and kitchen.
I've eaten in a lot of institutions. We do pretty good with the food, I think.
With many of the guests struck by all the noise here, especially the slamming doors.
Those things are just really hard to, they're hard to avoid, they're hard to ignore.
George tells us she's doing this simply because she thinks prosecutors have an ethical obligation to know more about this part of the system. Her office grateful for the opportunity.
I think every prosecutor should come and tour it, and I think it'll cause you to, in negotiating, to think twice, especially when it's a minor level offense.
Do you think this is going to change at all the way that you do your work?
I think it definitely helps provide added perspective to the work that we do, but difficult to say whether it impacts a lasting change at this point.
Now, when the plan was announced, a handful of skeptics did urge the state's attorney to remember victims of crimes while on her tour, and she insists she keeps those impacts top of mind each and every day. But when it comes to punishments, George says criminal justice reform efforts should result in shorter sentences at times, or in others, alternatives to prison altogether.
Incarcerating people has some benefits in very particular cases. There's also a lot of downfalls to incarcerating people. They can come out into our community more dangerous than they went in.
The prosecutor acknowledges this limited visit does not make her staff experts in prison life, but she is confident it has opened eyes. In St. Albans Town, Jack Thurston, NBC5 News.
If you drive through Dannemora, it's likely the most noticeable thing outside of the prison, and now crews are working to tear it down. The two yellow buildings across the street from the Clinton Correctional Facility are being demolished. They used to be apartments. The buildings received a lot of spotlight during the 2015 prison escape.
When the prison break happened, it was seen as an embarrassment to the community that this is not who Dannemora is, this is not who Clinton County was. So it was always just looking for the funds to take down the buildings.
The funding to take them down came from the state. Clinton County officials told us the space will be cleared and they plan to sell the properties.
Now, First Alert Weather with Chief Meteorologist Tom Messner.
All right, everybody, we are going to start out with Storm Tracker tonight. We've got some rain coming down. Most of this is very light, but let's key in on what's going on in northern Vermont. First, up near the Canadian border, we knew this was going to be an issue tonight. North Troy and Troy over toward Richford, Franklin, Enosburg Falls, looking at some rain. And again, this stuff's light, and it's even broken up a little bit down toward Georgia, where you guys may be seeing a couple of raindrops here and there. We do have one area with some downpours. It was over toward Ellenburg, made its way past Altona, and now just south of Moore. So be aware of that, Shazy. I think you guys are going to get wetter in the not too distant future. One area where it looks like the rain is coming down, I don't want to say moderately, but we're finding like a lot of aerial coverage, and that is in Essex County in northern New York, right along the Adirondack Northway here, and also Route 9. Meanwhile, on the Vermont side of things, we do have some very light rain right along the interstate here, maybe just a little bit heavier around Heinsberg. It's about it right now. We also have a little bit of rain up and down the Connecticut River Valley, White River Junction, along with Lebanon, looking at some rain. So it's all moving off to the east, maybe down to the south a little bit, but hang on, because I know this chunk is going to go through. We've got more to deal with during the day tomorrow. May affect your morning commute. I just don't think it's going to be all that heavy. Maybe for some up to a quarter of an inch, something like that, but that's about it. Well, current temperatures, check this out. It's 70 right now, Burlington, well into the 60s in a lot of places like Lebanon, 66, even in Messina, it is 64. We've got a south wind that has picked up. It's not anything massive, but I will say right in the Champlain Valley, we see this so often, just funneling right up the path length of the lake itself. The Well, the wind speed is a little bit higher, and that's going to keep the temperatures up tonight. So here's a breakdown for tomorrow. We are going to find periods with rain showers around, not going to be raining the whole time at all. So yeah, decent chance during the morning commute, afternoon commute, and in between here and there, but that's about it. It's mainly a south wind, at least for the first half of the day, getting temperatures up near 80 degrees. So here's Futurecast, 1 o'clock in the morning tonight. Not that much going on. Here we go tomorrow. Hard for the models to really pick up exactly where the rain is going to be in a pattern like this, but we will see a few on again, off again rain showers around, even into the afternoon. This is 5 o'clock, so be aware during commute times, it could be just a little bit wet, maybe when the kids are out for the school bus. First thing in the morning on Thursday, we're going to see a lot of clouds and even the chance for a couple of showers by later in the morning on down to the south. The trend is going to be from north to south to find clearing on your Thursday, though. You'll notice by then it's going to be cooler. Friday is looking good, and temperatures will start to come around. We're going to have a stretch here that's going to be nice. Scattered showers, pretty mild out there tonight. Low temperatures in the 60s. And then for tomorrow, we'll say scattered showers, even the chance for a thunderstorm. Temperatures in the 70s or the 80s. 80 in Plattsburgh, 85 in Port Henry. No kidding. 81 Burlington, 76 Lyndonville, scattered rain showers, and even the chance for a thunderstorm in there. We're going to call it 81 in Arlington and Claremont at 82. All right, 5-day forecast, 81 to 67 degrees on Thursday. We've got those clouds in the morning giving way to sun. Friday looks good, 72. Watch the temperatures here, everybody. Saturday showers, Sunday looks good, 75 both those days. Then the long-range forecast here, we are going to be in the 70s for the second half of the 10-day, and also it looks like it's going to be dry for the most part, so not bad.